Hello, everyone. My name is Devin,
I am Vice.
and welcome to our stream for Point Park Green versus COTTEY COMET Esports tonight on Valorant. How are you feeling, Bryce?
I'm feeling good. It's my first Valorant stream, but I'm here to try to learn the game and get used to it. So
Yeah. Now, usually, if you're a, you know, often viewer, that's not the term, habit viewer of our streams, you're likely familiar with our lovely Kago, Underdog 2V. Well, Kago is actually directing this time around. Yeah, there he is. His hand was at the corner. Um, Up, his leg. He thinks his leg is coming in, but it's not. Um, yeah, Kago's taking his own jab at directing this time around. Is not my first time casting Valorant, but it's been a minute. There's still plenty I am not as familiar with Valorant. How familiar are you with Valorant?
all I know about is it's just another shooter game.
That don't say that out there. You might you might get attacked. But it's kind of like CS with fantasy powers. And it's a very interesting game. We were doing a little game of our own outside where I was trying to name as many agents as I could. I think I got like around 20 or so correct without any aid.
Well,
22, something like that. So I'm learning
well, you're
slowly.
probably better than me with League because I do those streams all the time. don't know a single
I
character.
I have yet to touch League,
Yeah,
honestly.
you don't want to, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. I want to make it to more Rocket League games. I think our Rocket League match was a Rocket League match. No, League of Legends was yesterday.
Yeah,
Rocket
Rocket
League
League
says
is this
Friday.
Friday. Yep.
You all should come tune in on Friday for a Rocket League match. The lovely Caleb himself is one of our top players on a Rocket League team. But for today, let's focus on our Valorant team here. Something very interesting. So Green Team has had kind of a very polarizing experience in Valorant so far. They're 2-2 right now. This match is the decider of whether or not they're going to make it to their playoffs, which is a huge deal, right? Yeah, in their division. So this is for all the marbles tonight, right? Now, Green Team has shown some incredible potential. We have some all-star players, Colin Kendall, D, Mellon, these really, really talented rookies this time around. Specifically, Mellon, Ethan, actually tagged in for a player on the gold team last week, and they won. And Mellon did very well, particularly in the second match.
Yeah, and that kind of tells us that the goal tonight is for Mellon to lock in again and do it again to get them to the playoffs here
Right.
for their actual team.
But then, again, tonight's match is so important. We want to see all of these players lock in as much as they can. Obviously, Mellon has been a star. Colin has been a star. D has been a star. We've talked about before, but D was one of the, I think, she was our, no, it was Colin was our fourth player in history to get um, a, I think, over 30 kill game. D went 13-0. Green team was responsible for one of our first 13, or one of our few 13-0s. I think our first 13-0 since 2022 in Icebox. I think D was our first player to not die once in a single match. So we have a lot of potential out of Green Team tonight, and we're really hoping to see these players give it their all and make their way to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's sounding like this team has a lot of good stats, and they seem like they have a good opportunity to get in, and if they can, maybe they'll take it all the way.
Yeah. And you know what's going to help these players make it all the way? The one and only Red Bull, one of the sponsors of our stream. Thank you so much, Red Bull, for keeping our players and us energized. And thanks also to Extron and RPC Video for providing us with the hardware and software necessary to make these broadcasts possible. Isn't that right?
Yep, it's awesome, and honestly, it gives us wings to get through. So
Yes. Now, once again, we're looking at some interesting history here. So, Green Team was on a really hot streak for a couple of weeks, right? We had that 13-0. We had these records. They were setting records in Point Park Esports for a couple of streams, and then they just about fell short last week. Now, we aren't exactly, we're looking to see whatever shortcomings they may have had last week be mended, right? We're also trying to see, that adaptability. I think that's the number one thing that Point Park Valorant really, really strives at, or excels at. Green and gold, but particularly from Green, I've noticed, is this ability to learn the other team, learn what they're doing, observe and analyze their movements, and then switch their strategies to properly counteract that. So we're really hoping to see that in full swing tonight, right?
yeah, and it will be very interesting to see if they can kind of lock it in and do exactly that and win it. So
Yeah. All right, so here in just a moment, we're going to be seeing, we've just got word, we're going to be seeing our map picks, right?
yep, and we're about to see it, but
Here are our lovely players. You can see Colin all the way in the back, followed by Ethan. I know that's a couple more over is Angel, one more over. One. They pick map 2,
back to the facility.
I guess. um,
There we go.
awesome. All right,
Awesome.
we've got our maps coming up here in a moment now. All right, so our first map is actually going to be Corrode, which apparently we do not have a photo for, but that's okay. Map 1 will be Corrode. That's Point Park's pick.
Yeah, that's unfortunate we couldn't get the picture, but it's an interesting pick, and it'll be interesting to see how they can capitalize on that map.
We're starting to see, I think just recently, the map pool shifted in the competitive space. I believe some pretty pivotal maps, I'm pretty sure, like Ascent, have actually left the map pool. Some of our best maps, or maybe not, because that looks like Ascent as map 2. So you know what? I'm wrong, and I'm sorry. But COTTEY COMET Esports has picked Ascent as their map, which is one of Point Park's best. We've had a lot of really good, a lot of very strong matches on Ascent. So I'm excited to see how that goes for us, and also possibly for COTTEY COMET. Again, not as familiar with their strategy, so if it's one of their best maps as well, that'll be interesting to see. And then we're waiting on our decider here. And our decider is going to be Haven, another one of our best maps and our most common. These are some of our, obviously, Ascent and Haven are two of the most competitive maps. We see them all the time. Corrode is a slightly less common pick. We may be more used to something like, I think I've seen Split a few times. I've seen, what other maps have I seen? There's one other map in particular I know I've seen a lot besides Ascent and Haven. I think I've also seen Corrode a couple times though. So excited to see how these go for us. Yeah, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, and it's gonna be very interesting to see, how we capitalize on our pick, handle theirs, and honestly how we handled the deciding pick.
Yeah, I bet Point Park is actually pretty excited that Ascent was the pick of. Yeah, well, Ascent was the other team's pick because, like I said, it's one of our best. And if one of these matches doesn't go the greatest, we also tend to have a lot of good come out of Haven. So I'm excited to see how we play tonight. Um, how much do you know about these Valorant maps?
I don't know anything about them. I've heard a little bit just from, what we were doing before game. Like
Mhm.
Ascent's got like a higher elevation and stuff like that. But
Right.
beyond that, your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah. I mean, again, I mentioned we were doing that thing where we were guessing the agents, but this time we also did a little guessing game with some of the maps as well. Um, so you can see here we've got our lineup of Lawless, D, Angel, and a couple others that we unfortunately cannot see right now. Um, it looks like Lawless with the Sova pick. Okay, here's the test of my knowledge. That's Cypher. Lawless is Cypher. I believe D is Vise. Yes, I know that. Angel looks like a Jet pick. Oh no, D's going over to the Clove, one of our most common picks here. Angel with the Jet, Melon now with the Vise, and Colin with the Breach. Yes, that's Breach. We got a KJ and a Teho on the other, Teho on the other team. A Viper, very interesting pick. Phoenix and Clove, again, two much more common agents here. Looking at some excitement coming out of this first match
Yep,
from
let's
Point
get
Park
into it.
Esports. So, um, looking here at Point Park on the blue side, um, looks like a pretty even split. Very all around. We've got defending, we've got two on B, we've got two on A, and we've got um, our Clove right down the middle, ready to take on some early picks. Um, Obviously, we're on our pistol round, so things are going to start off a bit slow. I love that butterfly knife. Love that butterfly knife is a comb. I love that. Um, um, Having some technical difficulties over here on our end.
Yeah.
Don't mind us. Um,
Yeah, well, we're getting into the game. It's looking interesting
Looks like some
early.
altercations over on the B side. Unfortunately, oh, we've got Colin pushing up
Yeah.
on a couple here. Now, Breach is very interesting. He can use abilities. Ooh, and
Oh,
Colin. Oh no, Colin gets the pick.
nice.
Colin gets the pick, but we switched just off. Lawless with
Oh,
the double to take the match home.
what a start by them. Wow,
Very
a
strong
quick
start.
win for Point Park.
Indeed, and we're looking at some pretty strong eco here soon. Unfortunately, we can't see our stats at the moment. Yeah, we're starting to upgrade our gear, starting to really, hammer home. Looks like we've got same sort of setup going on here. The Viper and Silva on B, our Vise and Breach on A. Breach sort of more mid A, and our Clove once again straight down the middle.
Yeah,
Looking at that long corridor, trying to get those early picks.
we definitely got to be excited about what we're seeing early from Point Park coming out there and winning the first round that fast. If they can keep that up, they might just walk out of here with an easy win.
Yeah, and it looks like we've got a very compressed rush here from the other team. Looking at some very condensed movement. Colin trying to get the picks through the smoke, but he just misses. He does a jump peek, catches one of the enemies just on time. D with the, oh my god, D going through with the double on,
And another one, flawless victory for
wow.
Point Park, and it is looking really great for our playoff opportunity,
Indeed,
isn't
a
it?
very, very strong start here. Looking at a 3-0s in the top three. Only one pick on our team, period, on Angel. Very strong start And you can see sort of our strategy laid out here with our weapons. D is that Clove has been just hanging back, so she takes the sniper, and all the rest of the team have those SMGs, right?
Yeah, they're just going full fire mode and
I
walking in there and
believe
fighting.
that's the Stinger. I may be mistaken. Um, but again, I'm still learning the names of the guns. But seems like we have a much more aggressive approach here. Once again, Melon going for these sprays. We mentioned Melon coming in for the gold team the other day, playing very aggressive. Colin once again, holding these angles. Looks like a pretty condensed push again, like a two-way split, mid and A from the other team, pushing up. Ooh,
Oh,
but they weren't expecting Melon on the other side.
that was a very good play by Melon, waiting for them and
Ooh.
ambushing them.
Ah,
Oh,
but he throws down
that
the
that
smoke at just the wrong time, and now it's down to just Lawless on the Sova. On
yeah.
the flank, though,
Oh,
gets the pick. He got like a 3v1, but he does have a little bit of shield, and he's at full health.
yeah. You have to wonder if maybe he could pull off the upset here and come back for Point Park.
Spike coming in from the KJ, Aline, I believe. The names are a little bit covered on our end here. And we got the spike from the KJ. Shoot the recon bolt through the little hole there, trying to get their location on site. They're all on site. I don't know if he knows the scope, but he takes the one. Oh, and the other Clove was a little distracted, but still manages to turn around and get the headshot.
So just a beginner question here. What exactly is the spike? I hear it's like capture the flag almost.
The spike is essentially a bomb, right? So,
Bomb, okay.
if you know CS at all, um, the bomb, right? The attacking team has to plant it in on the sites. You see where it says A and B up there. They have to plant it down there, and there's a timer, and the other team has to either stop them from doing that in the first place, or once it's down, they have to go and defuse it, right? Looking at Lawless on the top here with a 5-1 on Sova. All of them have switched over to the auto rifle, so D has, strayed away from that earlier further back strategy. We see the Clove actually pushing up here a little bit. Full rush on the A side from the other team, and we seem to only have Melon defending. It's going to be a bit of a rocky situation here for Point Park University, but we've got some more aid coming in. Colin Kendall on the breach, holding the other angle. It seems like a couple of the other team of COTTEY Comets are starting to fall back, head more towards mid, but we also have some support on mid
And
from
Colin with a
D.
big one. Took one of them
Colin
down.
with the pick. They've got a wall up. Allen Alley here. Gopher with the pick on D. It's a bit of a loss.
Yeah. It's
Now they are
definitely-
full mid rushing. We've still got Melon, but we've got the Silva coming up on the flank. Is Lawless gonna get the and
Oh.
Lawless gets picked. Switching over to B now on the other team.
It's not looking great for
Angel
Point
and
Park.
Angel and Colin holding up while Melon comes around trying to provide some backup.
Oh.
Pick. The
Oh.
double from Angel.
But
Make that a triple! With the aid from Colin to finish out the
Nice.
round. Again, we're talking about this adaptability here, right?
And that was some great teamwork as well between them, and it seems to really be paying off here. So now up to 3-1.
Exactly. And again, we were talking about that adaptability, and that application of intel is a big thing. I think one of the last times I casted, I talked about this a lot, but that's another thing I've noticed Point Park really excels at, is using the knowledge they are granted throughout the match and in between matches, or not matches, rounds, apologies, but matches as well to a lesser extent, and applying it moving forward. So again, we saw this mass migration last round. Their whole team started pushing A. Then they started to falter, so they went mid, and then they started to falter, and then they tried to go hard B. And right as they thought they had it, we came in and pincered. It's all about, positioning, and it's all about taking what we know and what we come to know and applying it to the match in real time.
Yeah, and to kind of like compare it to a game I do know a little bit more of. It's kind of like in League how they kind of early on it's just filling the other team out, and then eventually you have to start to pull away with your strategy.
Um, and also apparently we're actually going to, your guys are going to be hearing, we're seeing a little bit more of us. We're actually going to start switching to caster cam a bit more often here, during our buy phases. But ooh, the double pick
Nice.
from Colin and Melon.
Oh,
Melon with the double,
Melon.
with the triple.
Oh,
Flawless round from Point Park again.
yeah, and that was a
Really,
great
really
play by
strong
Melon.
start here, you know?
Yeah.
We're looking at some great early momentum. And sometimes it can also be such a psychological thing. When you have such a strong start, it can go one of two ways, right? Either the enemy team starts to lock in, starts to try harder and harder, or you take down their spirit a bit more, right? And they might start to falter a bit more. It can go either way, really. So we're looking to see, again, will the enemy team falter? Will they adapt? And will we adapt to what they do, right? So going back here to the match in a minute, moving into our 6th round, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, but one thing I want to go back to what you were saying before, is it also possible that we could get overconfident and overaggressive and then overextend and cause ourselves bigger issues as well?
That is certainly a possibility as well. You know, there's always a matter of players getting into their own heads about things. Um, that isn't an issue we see as much with Point Park. However, there certainly are situations. I believe it's the 9-3 curse or the something curse where, you know, you get to a certain point in the match and you just start to feel, you know, a certain point where you're so victorious that again, you potentially stop trying as hard or something along those lines, and you may start to falter. So we're hoping to not see that, plain and simple, from Plain Park University here. But again, it's something that we haven't seen much out of them, so we're hoping to keep it that way, right?
Yeah, and it would be awesome if they didn't, but we still have to realize there is the potential of it, because if it happens, we gotta report it, you know?
Right, right. Um, Again, going back into the match here, we are having some technical difficulties on our end. We can see a little bit of what's going on. It looks like it's going to be another victory for Point Park here coming in soon. There's only one enemy left. I believe we're going to be taking home our 6th round here.
Yeah, and I'm not entirely sure what's going on with the technical stuff. Hopefully it gets fixed soon, but
We've been having some audio issues, I heard. That's why we're here with us. Um, so, you know, we've actually been seeing, again, Melon, once again, fantastic, got that triple earlier. D had a really strong early start. You know, Colin has been sort of this spine of the body that is the sort of the skeleton of this team, right? Colin is possibly our most consistent. Sometimes, you know, we may have people such as Angel or D, you know, really pop off, and when they pop off, they pop off. But Colin is the most consistently skilled, reliable player, and can really put himself anywhere. You know, we're seeing this breach pick today, which is very interesting. And we're back on the topic of that. You know, we're seeing this breach pick today, which is a bit of a more unusual pick on Colin's part, I believe. But, you know, he can play Duelist, he can play Sentinel, he can play these roles consistently depending on what the team needs. And, you know, we're really relying on him pretty consistently throughout these matches. So, as I said, you know, we're 5-1. We took that last match. Melon, once again, probably one of our best initiators here, you know.
yeah, Melon seems to be doing really good.
And
Another triple. as
before
we're
our
saying.
eyes, another triple instantly.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder, is Melon the difference maker here?
Yeah. You know what I'm seeing? Oh, we're going to a timeout here soon. So you'll probably see us again here in just a second. You know, something I've been noticing a lot of across these matches that I've been observing, these matches I've been casting, these matches that I've been directing, so often do our opponents in particular hard push. All of them on one side. Either they all go A, they all go B, they all go C, they all go mid, they all go wherever, right? And so often we are able to surround them and overpower them. And sometimes matches are over, or rounds are over before you even know it. You're just watching people wandering around, and then suddenly an entire team is dead.
Yeah, and I've kind of noticed that as well. You know, we're just like sitting here talking about how good a player is doing, and then instantly it's a triple
Yeah,
kill.
again, we were just talking about whatever, and Melon gets a triple, and Colin gets like a 2K, and it's just over.
Yeah,
Because they were all there, and we were able to to play on that, right? Again, I keep talking about this application of intel. That's what we do best, and that's where our enemies keep consistently, sort of falling short, is trying to just play a power and numbers game without the strategy that we implement, right?
yeah, and I've seen that as well. You know, a lot of the time I've actually seen them. They're doing like things like cameras and shit and stuff to see what the other team's
Right.
doing, and then they like turn it around.
Of course, we see Lawless with the Silva pick. That's what Silva is built for. Is D here. Deviously. Oh.
He took out two
with
on
the
their way
Clove
down.
revive. And she can't quite get away to get that pick in time.
But he did get 2 picks before going down.
Again, we're talking about
Oh,
Lawless again. Ooh, so close from Lawless. It's 2v2.
Yeah,
Clove
it's
needs to
come
get
down to it.
Clove on the other team needs to get a pick here coming soon. Forget her name. I apologize.
One enemy
In
remaining.
order to stay, and she doesn't quite get it. Alarak is down, looking like just Aelin Alley here.
yeah, it's a very close
Planting
game.
on B.
Oh, they got it though. This is gonna be close.
Power and numbers. Again, we're seeing Point Park sort of stack up here, which can sometimes be good, if it's one after the other.
Oh, Melon was
She
good
just wasn't
there.
quite prepared. Melon gets the defuse on the spike. And that is another round for Point Park University. Green
Yeah,
team. 7-1. Looking like a very clean match so far.
Yeah, they
Knock
were
on wood.
very close to just finishing it out here. The big question though, as a beginner, how many rounds do they need to win the whole thing?
So it goes to first to 13.
First
Right.
to 13.
It's first to 13, so we're about halfway through this match here, this map. Now, if Point Park continues to win, of course, that, knock on wood again, that's not to say there's always a chance that COTTEY Comets could come in here and, again, lock in all of a sudden. But again, we're seeing this hard push on B. We've only got Angel on B site, really holding down. Gets the pick on Alarak. Again, Point Park now knows that there are plenty of people pushing B site. We've got Lawless falling back in B as well.
Yeah, you can
Backing up Angel.
Oh, there's that intel
Putting
again.
out that fire bolt. Ooh, he sees there's a bunch of them. Bear pops his ult. Gets the pick through the wall. Gets the double with the ult. Oh my god.
What a play by him.
Lawless
Now they're
coming
starting to-
through.
Yeah, it's looking very good for them.
I want to give Lawless his flowers here for a sec, right? I feel like sometimes when I see Green Team, Lawless doesn't get talked about nearly enough. Lawless is, I'd say Lawless may be one of our other sort of backbone players, right? Lawless loves to, again, we're seeing them here with this fantastic Silva play, gathering this intel that our team can then apply. So, Lawless sometimes is just like fascinating to observe, right? This player, sort of this dark horse of the Green Team, right? Since the recon bolt overbreak gets destroyed. Angel once again holding up that front line. We're seeing a hard push be here. Bar for, well, one player getting back.
You know what I'm noticing though?
Gopher takes out Colin.
Angel ain't getting all the kills, but Angel has been very solid at just holding ground enough for the other members of the team. To get in there.
Angel is again. Angel's sort of like, if Colin, if we're using a human body here, if Colin is our backbone, Angel's kind of our feet. That might sound weird, but Angel is a sort of a foundation, right? And so we're hoping to see a lot out of them moving forward here. 2v4, both players trying to take this B site. We've got 2 players on the flank.
Oh, another one.
Angel
by
with the,
Angel.
oh wait, Angel with the 4K.
Oh, and Lawless with 1.
Angel
Finished it.
gets the ace taken by Lawless, but that's okay.
It
still
was
won.
Still a great
Awesome
round for
stats.
Angel.
Melon and Colin tied for most kills. D surprisingly taking up the bottom, but of course, no testament against D's skill here. You know, we've seen D playing this more passive role this time around, hanging back with the Clove. And then again, Lawless and Angel holding up that middle ground, that sort of backbone role.
Yeah, and this round was really big for Angel because now their stats are kind of lining up with everyone else's.
Right.
Before that, they were kind of behind.
They
now
just
they're kind of catching up.
played catch up in a single round. And again, you know, I've said this before, but what impresses me the most about our teams here at Point Park, green and gold, but I've seen a lot of it out of green, is that every player can do fantastic. I've seen clutches and 3Ks and 4Ks and massive accomplishments from, again, we saw D. Like I said, D, I think first player in Point Park Esports history to go 0 deaths in a match.
Well, it looks like
Colin
just got 2 kills.
I think our 4th player ever to go over 30 kills in a match, right?
Nice.
So many of our players. Lawless is on, you know, almost on top this match.
It's down to 4-1 again.
Melon has been on top. Colin has been near on top. You know, like we're looking at such a strong
And
ensemble here. Again, Colin with this 3K. You know, that was not a diss. I feel like that may have been kind of mean to Colin. I'm not being. Colin's on top now, 14 and 4,
Oh.
dude. I keep saying that, you know, we have such a strong, I don't know if I want to use the word ensemble, but we have such a strong lineup, and every player has shown that they can do fantastic when needed, right? Some of them are more foundational, some of them are more, you know, episodic. That's a weird way to put it, you know. Ooh, Angel gets picked early. We're seeing a bit more aggression here this time. They were ready for Angel in that position, and they just took him out. But D, again, taking up this back sniper.
The way I would
get away! Just barely dodged that Tejo there.
Yeah, the way I would compare the team to a comparison I would actually understand.
Ooh, Colin with the double!
Yeah, they kind of
Following
have
the breach
like,
ult, gets taken out by Alarak. Now we're just
like,
looking at Alarak and, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you know, like in football where they have like a player position and then down the line there's just depth.
Yeah.
That feels like this team. This
Ooh,
whole
is he going
team
for the, oh.
can just do it all.
Oh, I thought for a second there, I thought Lawless was going to take it with the knife. I really thought he was going to take it with the knife.
But yeah, that's kind of the comparison I would make. You know, it feels like this team is like in NFL with those positions. They have that depth.
Right,
the whole
right.
team is one position in this case, and they can all excel at it.
Yes, but now we're looking at a bit of a test here. We switched sides. We're now on the attacking. We're going to be taking the spike now. And so we're excited to see. We had such a strong defense and strong adaptability towards the back end of the map. We're looking to see if we can keep up a certain level of aggression in, you know, in congruency with our strategy here in our attacking rounds. We're 11 and 1, so, you know, looks like a pretty strong start here. First map for Point Park University. Of course, you know, it's important to consider that Corrode was our pick, so things very well may be subject to change. But like I've said, we've had some good history on Ascent as well. Immediately, again, we're seeing this aggression. We're sort of taking what the other team did last time with the hard B-site push and throwing it right back at them.
Well, all we would need at this point is 2 more wins, and if we can pull that off, we will be out of here with it. So at this point, there's no reason not to play aggressive. Until they make it, so our strategy is not working, why change it?
Right, you know, that's a very fair point.
And
Ooh,
now that's
Gopher with the
3K.
double kill,
Oh,
but gets taken out. in the immediate follow-up on Alarak by D.
And it's
D
a
with the
3-on-2,
plant.
but they did plan it. This has been an interesting game. We'll see how it plays out.
Looking at Aylin Alley and their Viper. I'll need to learn up on their name. My apologies. Coming up from behind.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but at this point, all they need to do is just hold on until the time is
Yes.
out.
You see that blinking thing at the top there? That's the spike indicator of how far along it is. Ooh, we're seeing this push through. Colin with the pick.
And
Can we
there's
get the
only one
follow-up from
left.
D? Colin takes it for the
Nice.
4K.
And
Good.
that's another one. And they
Good.
just need one more.
One more round.
This could be very big if they can pick up the first map and win it.
We're seeing D with the sniper pick again. You know, we've got our eco. We got one of our eco rounds now. Other team going full SMGs. You know, we're looking at a very all-out. You know, all-out round here from both sides. But you know, we've got a bit more. We've got a bit more variety in our range here. We're looking at a hard A push this time, which is smart following that B rush from last time.
And we'll see if they can pull it off here and pick up the big win that they need by changing it up.
Ooh, Angel gets the pick, spraying through the box, getting a few tags,
Oh.
and you win
the
the COMET. Oh my
Oh.
goodness gracious!
That's
Colin with the
3 now.
3K, can Colin get the 4K? Doesn't
Oh.
even matter.
That
And
is-
just like that, match 1 is down on Corrode. Solid, clean 13-1. Almost another 13-0 from Point Park University. Map
Wait.
1.
Hold up, I'm getting a phone call.
Oh,
Here, I'll put it on speaker. Yeah, I'll put it on speaker.
we're getting a phone call.
Gives you wings.
Oh!
Whoa, whoa.
I
Whoa.
think we owe that victory, at least in part,
To Red Bull.
to... Could we see? Hello. All right, we are back. Now, unfortunately, we could not find the time. Pardon my hair there. For our post-game interview with Colin Kendall, but we are going right back into it with our second map on Ascent, which you'll be seeing here in just a moment. How you feeling?
Pretty good. Just kind of bummed we didn't get that Colin Kendall
Yeah.
interview, but maybe we'll get one later, you know?
Yeah, I was to say, I think after the game in general, we should begin that interview. Currently, our teams are picking their agents, getting ready for our second map. Now, again, we talked a little bit about Ascent. I've noticed Ascent is one of the most popular maps in the competitive pool. We've played Ascent numerous times. I think we may have played Ascent every single time. Like, we play a lot of this map. It is leaving the map pool soon. I don't know if it'll be out by the time we get to playoffs. But, savor it while it lasts. We're moving on to Ascent here by choice of COTTEY COMET. Now, again, since this was their choice, we may be seeing a bit more contention here. But, once again, we've got some things swapped around. Angel, once again, with the jet pick. Colin moving over to the Killjoy. D on the Cypher. And Muzzled Yeti swapping out for, who did he swap out for from last match? I'm blanking. We have Muzzled Yeti playing Omen. And Melon on Sova this time around.
Well,
Looks like on the other team we've got a Sky, we've got Phoenix, Killjoy, Clove, and I don't remember. And I feel like an idiot because I don't remember.
Was it Omen?
No. Omen's the dude with the hoodie and the three
Okay.
lines. Yeah. Go for on the other team, the operator I'm not familiar with. But I'm sure I'll be told eventually. Raze. What's her
Okay.
name?
Yeah, I don't know any of them. So.
Yeah. So I see Melon switching over here with the Silva pick. We saw Melon sort of fragging out last match with
Ooh.
the more initiator, and Colin
Nice
here
shot.
moving over to the Killjoy pick. Again, Colin was that breach pick earlier, was a bit more aggressive, but we see some more passive play coming in here from these two, and D switching over to the Cypher. Sort of probably trying to maintain that further back intel gathering role, while we see Angel maintaining. We see Angel maintaining that aggression, and Yeti, who swapped out for Lawless, was the person.
Which is kind of crazy. I feel like
Yeah.
Lawless was doing really good last game.
Yes, but things happen, circumstances happen. Muzzle may have just very well wanted to play. Oh, wow. Okay, well, you sort of missed that, but we saw Muzzled go down, and then
It just
clean
went
picks
off
from
there.
Angel and them. And just like that, we're into we're into the next match or next round here. Sorry.
And that goes right back into the whole thing where it's just like we're talking, and then the next second it's over. It happens constantly.
Oh, Cullen was vibing there. We're seeing another pistol round here. We're not seeing much buyout from the other team, that is. We see Colin again. Colin maintaining his ego, just taking that sheriff. So we're looking at again a more passive role from Colin this time around, with a bit more again a bit more of a grounded role here coming from Melon as well. Shooting out that recon bolt, trying to get someone on. Is that place called Heaven? I'm pretty sure that's Heaven, and then a butt underneath it is Hell. I think I'm starting to learn some of the callouts, and immediately we see this call out, or we see this this plant from Colin, just like that.
And
Two
there's
picks on Heaven
Angel.
from Angel, sort of retreating, trying to hover down. Ooh, a tree goes down. Ironic.
Oh, with a pick.
And a
Nice.
flawless round from PPU here.
It's looking very good for PPU as they're looking to get that second one.
Yeah. Again, we had this strong start last time, and you saw how last match turned out. So we can only hope for some similar results here on Ascent. Again, one of our strongest, and starting off on the attack might give, because the enemy team, or I shouldn't say the enemy, COTTEY here really hasn't had as many rounds against us on attack, so they aren't as adapted to our attacking strategy, our aggression. And so might very well prove advantageous for Point Park here moving
Don't-
forward.
Going off of my knowledge on other esports games, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but if Point Park wins this one, the decider doesn't even matter. It just ends.
Yes.
Okay.
If we go 2-0, then
So
we don't even
got it.
need our decider map on Haven. We can just take it home here on Ascent. Ooh, Melon gets picked off. Not expecting Gopher around the corner, but D now with the plan. Again, we're seeing D playing a bit more passive these matches. We've seen D frag out, right? We've seen D take on that initiator or that duelist role, but now we see a bit more intel play,
Yep. And
a
it's
bit more passive play.
Oh.
Clean headshot from
Yeah.
Colin on the Sheriff over on Gopher.
And it's looking very good for Point Park now.
Kame here, one shot. All it takes is
Oh.
well, that was D. That was a bit overkill.
Jeez.
The poor dude had like 10 hit points. He didn't need to snipe him.
I mean, it took care of the issue, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, get the job done, you know.
Yeah, and they won the round, so you know what? Keep it up. That kind of aggression.
It was so dramatic, too. He was like suspended in the air. He had this really cool kill animation.
Yeah,
It was,
that
it was like
was
Matrix.
that was a really funny play. I was enjoying that.
I wish we had seen D's point of view there. Yeah. So you know, we're seeing some interesting play here. We actually have 2 Sentinels this time around. We have Cypher and Sova, or is Oben? Yeah. Yeah. We're. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. Our director was talking to us about something he noticed. I
We
guess.
get some notes here and
Yeah.
there. Specifically, sorry, it's our Cypher and more specifically Colin here with the KJ pick. You know, we were seeing some struggling from Colin. Really, one of the only weaknesses last time around.
Oh,
Well,
it's over
flawless
again.
match there, Angel with the 3K.
Every time we talk about something, it just ends.
Yeah, things just
Instantly.
like they're so quick.
And they're 4-0 right now.
Yeah.
They might just get out of here. They're
Now-
not playing around.
I will say again, we've only ever we had our first 13-0 only a few weeks ago, since our first 13-0 since 2022. That was Green Team. Is there a chance, again, knocking on wood here, that we could see that again? We took a 3-year. There was a 3-year gap previously between our 13-0s. Could the next gap be like literally 2 weeks, right? Or 3 weeks, somewhere around there.
That would be really cool to see, and it would be really great for us, to see that in our first year
Yeah.
as well. That's kind of cool part about it.
Again, we haven't seen as much. We keep talking about this adaptability. We haven't seen as much of this coming out of COTTEY comments here. We're really, that they sometimes can take a round or two, just catch us by surprise. But when our team is so good at learning and adapting, taken by surprise doesn't matter as much. Anyway, yeah. So going back here quickly to talk about Colin for a second, because we saw some faltering from Colin last round, trying to hold that site and playing that sentinel role. I think we're really starting to see Colin try and get better at that here with this KJ pick. This more grounded, sort of anchor approach.
Oh,
Muzzled the pick. Can he get? He knows he's in that corner, and he takes out
nice.
Ali Brack 2 for the 2K to finish up.
This is a really good.
the
This
round.
is a really good game.
5-0 for Point Park University here on the aggressive. I mean, we've seen quite a stellar performance here from Green Team against COTTEY Comets. Look at the other team. I've seen a lot come out of, again, Gopher, Alarak, and Alan Alley at the top there. I've seen the least out of Pearl Rose. Maybe we can see a bit more out of them moving forward. And Kame, I believe that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah, you have to. You have to wonder if those players can lock in or not, because if they can't, that might be why they're losing right now.
Yeah.
They need to find a way to get all their players to lock in, or they're not going to walk out of here with the win.
But once you know, again, Colin with the 2K immediately on Pearl Rose and Kame here. Again, you know, we talked earlier about how our whole team is really solid. I just don't know if there's that same level of all-around support on COTTEY Comets here, right? They have some star players and they have some notable moments, but Point Park is just so much more well-rounded.
Oh,
Wow!
and Angel's one off.
Angel
Oh,
make that a
again!
3K.
Nice.
Woo!
What a play by Angel.
You know, we haven't seen as much out of Angel, but there was that 4K or 3K or 4K last match. And then we see this 3K here, and that transfer.
And it looks like Angel's actually leading right now on the
12
team.
and 1 from
Wow.
Angel.
Angel's coming in here and just taking over.
Now, you know, it's notable to say that, you know, Angel is really our only initiator, really our only fragger here with the jet pick. You know, D and Melon with the Cypher and Sova are much more intel reliant, and you know, Omen's also a bit more intel, and KJ here with the anchor.
Another one from Angel.
Does he? Oh, he checks the wrong corner. Oh, Kame takes out Angel. Unfortunate, but Colin here. Shit up. Oh, dang.
Some revenge.
That was
Colin.
mean. That was mean, Colin. D with the plant. Again, you know, we've seen because we have so many more passive players this time around, it's really cool to see that, you know, we've had so many different players planting, even. You know, small things like that. Seeing how each player can really, you know,
Oh, good work by D.
do just about anything.
And there we go.
And Alarak tries to pop the clove, but just can't. Gets taken out. 7-0 for Point Park University here. We're going to be switching over in a bit, but 13-2 on Angel with only a 4-7 top on the other team with Gopher.
And it looks like Point Park's about halfway away from getting another 13-0.
Yes.
They could very well do it. This could be another good week.
We just got word about something that I didn't even think about, but D is deathless again. Now, you know, we were very close to that last time with the clove pick, but it was really interesting last round that D played so passive with the clove, because clove, you know, clove tends to be a bit more of an aggressor. But you know, now with this Cypher pick, we're seeing this recon and this more low-key playstyle really start to pay off, and we very well may see another deathless round from D end here. Now, again, knocking on. I've knocked on this table so many times today
Yeah, I've seen it multiple
because
times.
I really don't want to jump the gun. But
Oh,
again, D has already made history at Point Park Esports. And again, just
Nice.
kills all around
8-0 again.
from just about everyone, right?
It's
just
looking
about
really
everyone.
good for Point Park's hopes for the playoffs.
We have such a strong match here.
And you know, if we can get into the playoffs, honestly, I see this team making it all the way at this point. With
Yeah.
this if they can keep this kind of play in the playoffs,
I also
they
just
could win
think
this year.
I think it may be a matter of COTTEY Comets is not quite expecting this level of play from Point Park, especially from a rookie team. You know, like I was looking on their esports website, COTTEY Comets esports website, a little bit earlier today. I saw something about their Val team. Now again, I don't know if they have a Val team above this. Maybe it may have been an earlier article, but I saw something about their Val team being like 2-0, right? Rollers gets taken out by Muzzle Deity. We'll talk about Muzzle Deity in a sec here. I want to come back to them, but for now, right now, let's focus on this. And, you know, mention something about a 2-0. And, you know, so they may have, maybe they were the we were talking about that overconfidence. Maybe COTTEY Comets were the overconfident ones here, and weren't quite expecting this level of adversity from Point Park University. This has been carrying them. D gets taken out.
It happens, but
I shouldn't have jinxed it.
you have to
I
look
shouldn't
at
have
it.
jinxed
They're on
it.
their own right now. So yeah, D might have been taken out, but there you go. They
A
were able
worthy
to back it up.
sacrifice.
Yeah, they still won the round. They could still go 13-0. So you know
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. So we've been talking so much about Point Park's success here. We've touched a little bit, but I want to talk a bit more in depth here about COTTEY comments because I already mentioned that application of Intel, that adaptability. COTTEY seems to be quite headstrong in their approach. I've noticed.
Yeah, they're a little like aggressive. I've noticed.
They have these setups and these moves that they try. Sorry, we just missed an alt kill from Melon on the Sova ult. More aggression here from Angel.
Yeah, and
Unfortunately, Colin gets taken out.
I think the main issue with the other team winning is they're just like they're trying all these things, but they're not really focusing in on one specific strategy. They're trying to do everything at once, and and the other team and our team, Point Park, is playing together, and I think that is the issue.
Well, humbly, I may have to disagree. I think it may be the opposite problem of they keep trying the same thing, right? They lack that. Oh my! Whoa, Melon!
Oh,
That was
dang.
wow. Okay.
Well, we talked about Melon being on the winning team for gold. It looks like he might be trying to get green the win
Melon's
too.
been playing a bit more passive here. We see, with the 7-3 on the Sova pick. Angel with the 16-2.
Yeah, Angel is
Good
doing
lord.
really good.
Anyway, yeah. So we're looking at, and also again, we talked about some of the other team, not being as strong on the whole, right? But we're also, we're looking at this. They love to try and rinse and repeat their moves, hoping they'll stick, not realizing that Point Park has this adaptability. And it also might just be a matter of one-on-one instinct. I've noticed, like so often when we see these one-on-one fights here. Sometimes, like just there, you saw Valorantt there got shot. It was spinning around like crazy, trying to figure out, their game sense.
It's happened there too. They don't
Wow.
seem to They don't seem to know where it's coming from.
Last round before the switch.
Yeah.
We lose everything after this.
Yeah, and yeah, we're looking
Whoa.
at. I do not say this to be mean at all, but we're looking at Pearl Rose on the other team with the 0 and 11.
I mean,
0.
I'm kind of looking at all of them. Not many of their kill counts are as high as
Yeah.
ours.
Now again, we have been
Our
doing quite
lowest-
well,
Our
but
lowest kill count is higher than their highest.
I wonder why. Oh, it's because she's playing Clove. I was so confused why the Clove had 12 deaths and the rest had 11, but because she's Clove, she used her revive ult and then didn't get a kill.
Yeah.
Okay, I was so confused for a second.
Well, that was interesting.
Anyway, so yeah, we're looking at a bit of I think what they really need to do is get some of these players much more intensive coaching, and also like again, I think it's a matter of game sense, figuring out. Or was that a shock? Oh, okay. For a second, I thought he just got the kill with the shock dart. But we're looking for this
Oh.
game sense from the enemy team.
Got two before
Oh,
going
Valorantt
down.
gets the Clove revive. Okay, there's so much going on. It's a 2v2,
And they got
and
him.
it's
Point
over.
Park.
12-0.
One more.
We are one away
One
from
more.
our potential second 13-0 this season from Point Park Green Team.
And what's even better is this 13-0 could be the 13-0 that secures us the playoff spot.
Exactly, dude. And you know what else this means? We're probably going to Mad Chicken after. Yeah, pretty strong here. Angel with the 22-3. Colin with the 15-2.
Yeah, they seem to be the big two in this fight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Saying
they
this-
don't
oh.
seem to have great.
Oh, they're having a knife fight! No. Do not let them okay.
They're still looking like they're gonna lose knife fight in
Oh,
that.
wow.
13-0.
Good
What a play.
crap. I can't say the other word. Good stuff. Good stuff
Nice.
here from Point Park Esports. Green.
13-0.
The
They're going to
second
the
13-0
playoffs.
of the season.
And they're going to the playoffs. It happened.
My goodness. What a game. Oh my god. Again, wow. Well, I mean, props, so many props to COTTEY COMET there for taking it like champs. Yeah, and you know, that knife fight was just immaculate. That was wonderful. I don't know how they I don't know if they have chat in between, like during the buy phases or what, but you know, we saw Angel there. Again, Angel's sort of a dark horse player with that 22 kills. Over a 20 bomb that match. Again, our second 13-0 this season. And again, remember, it'd been 3 years before the first one. So we're looking at some records being set here by Point Park Green.
Yeah, and it really seems like they just work together well, and it's helping them kind of just put on these amazing performances that haven't been done before.
Yeah.
It seems like a very cohesive team, and it's really helping when it comes to record setting and just winning.
Yeah. We're looking at this, you know, my mind is going to the word symbiosis, but I know that's not exactly true.
I mean, that's
this harmony.
kinda right.
We're looking at this harmony from all of our players on Green Team, really coming together to get them this win and sending them to the playoffs.
Yep.
It's wonderful.
Well, if they can keep this up, if they can keep getting 13-0, maybe, just maybe, they could win it all.
Yeah. So we are going to go on a small break, and then when we'll be back, we're going to be conducting 2 interviews. We're going to be making up for the Colin Kendall interview, which you'll be seeing. And then we're also going to be interviewing the one and only Angel, who just got that 22.
Yeah.
So we're going to be on a small break. We'll be back. You got anything to say before we head out, Bryce?
I do not. I can't wait for the interview. Alright. Are we on? Okay. So I'm here with the great Colin. I'm sorry,
Colin Kendall.
Colin Kendall. He had a great game, and yeah, I have a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
So first up, you were the first round MVP. How did you feel out there?
I was really just playing off my util, playing with my teammates. I was getting aggressive a lot of the time because we started getting cocky because we were up a couple rounds. So I started playing a little aggressive, got me more kills, and that's really what led to me getting MVP.
Alright, so in the second round, you still had the second most picks. You might not have been MVP for say, but you were a huge part in that. So how were you feeling in that moment?
I mean, I don't play KJ much, but I was mainly just playing off her turret, putting it in front of me before I swung an angle so that on the off chance they're there, it either shoots at them or it catches them off guard. So I was mainly just playing with my util and playing very aggressive again.
Okay, and the last question I have for you, you know, when we look at it, you've had a really great game, but one of the most key factors is that it's been 2 weeks and you guys had another 13-0. How does that feel to do that now twice this season?
I mean, it's great. I love the team. We've been practicing a little more. We butt heads sometimes, but at the end of the day, whenever it comes game time, we're always gonna have each other's back. We're always gonna play with each other, and we're always just gonna try our best.
Well, that's all my questions for you. I'm very happy we got you back there, back here, and got to talk to you. You played really well today. Good
Thank you.
work.
Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. So that's it for this first interview.
Bye,
we're
Kate.
gonna
Bye,
take
Mom.
we're gonna take a
And bye,
slight
Data Craig.
second to swap around, and we'll be back.
Bye, family.
Hello again, Point Park University Esports. I'm Devin here, again, joined by the one and only Angel. How are you feeling, Angel?
Good. How are you?
I'm feeling pretty good. Now, let's talk a little bit about these last couple matches. So we saw you picking Jet both times, right?
Yeah.
But then we saw you show out, specifically in Map 2 on Ascent, with 22 kills pre-knife fight. Did you get any in the knife fight?
No, I did not.
Okay, so 22 kills. We saw a big jump there, right? What do you think changed between these maps that got you this boost forward?
Well, the first map, I usually play Jet on
Mhm.
Corrode. And, well, the second map, I actually was supposed to pick Phoenix, but I auto-locked Jet. I don't know why, but we needed flashes, so
Yeah,
I still picked Jet because I was, like, feeling it, and I guess it just worked out.
yeah. And we also saw a lot more, Sentinels and Intel coming in on that second map with, we had a Cypher, we had a Sova, we had an Omen, and I forget the other one. But then, you as Jet were really one of the only initiators or duelists in that second map. So do you think that that played a part at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think I forgot for the second map.
Mhm.
Yeah, or I mean, since we have no flashes, I just relied on like the util, the drone, the
Right.
dart, and I usually just like send it because we knew that they had ults, but I still like pushed in. Like they used me as bait, and I still got some kills out of it.
Right.
I feel like that's why I top fragged.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. And it's also, it's great to see you top frag because when we were watching these matches here, we were talking about how every single player on green team
Mhm.
and gold team as well, but speaking on about green team here, every single player has their moments, right? And
Mhm.
you really had your big moment today. How do you plan to, keep this momentum going into the playoffs here?
Yeah, definitely. But the only person that hasn't gone this moment is Nico, and I'm praying for you to like get this moment
Yeah,
and hopefully top frag one game. But yeah,
that's Lawless, by the way. We're hoping to
yes,
see
flawless.
Lawless hopefully in here next match, coming through.
Hmm.
Thank you so much. Anything you'd like to say to the stream before we head out?
Um, nothing really, but just Red Bull. I've been drinking this while playing the game.
Told y'all. I told you it keeps them fueled,
Yes,
right?
it helps a lot to focus, concentrate.
If you drink Red Bull, you will drop 22 kills in Valorant,
Yes.
guaranteed. As well as RPC Video and Extron for making our streams possible. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Angel.
Thank you.
And thank you, viewers. I've been Devin. Brace is over there. You can't see him. And thank you so much for tuning in to stream. We will catch you, hopefully, on Friday for Rocket League. Peace.